By the mid-1960s, new scientific innovations led to the birth of the Syva Company, delivering new patents and inventions in drug testing. Known as the counterculture movement, the late 1960s brought us peace, love, and a heroin crisis. Around this time, the first studies about drug addiction began and resulted in new public health measures to combat the growing global drug addiction crisis. In Europe, London hospitals were opening drug treatment units, offering treatment to addicts. The UK government passed the Misuse of Drugs Act, which classified drugs into 4 distinct categories. Meanwhile, in the US, President Nixon declared a war on drugs, calling drug abuse enemy number 1. In Vietnam, war still raged, and Nixon ordered a drug testing program for military personnel. Previously, drug testing was performed manually by chemists using paper chromatography. Result interpretation was difficult and subjective, since slide preparation was complex and interpretation was not standardized. The Syva Company received a call from the White House. The company's free radical assay technique test was chosen by the U.S. military to screen those returning from Vietnam for drug use, offering a simple test with a result in 30 seconds. Building on this innovation, Syva developed a second assay technology. Unlike the earlier test, this method could be performed using standard laboratory equipment. This technique, called EMIT, is an immunoassay method that uses enzymes to detect drugs and metabolites. While Syva led the market for drugs of abuse testing during the 1970s, scientists began to investigate EMIT technology for other uses. For example, what about drugs that were not being abused? Monitoring levels of therapeutic drugs was slow, labor-intensive, and expensive. In addition, adjusting dosage was trial and error. Unlike drugs of abuse tests, such testing must monitor the safety and effectiveness of drug therapy to determine the exact concentration of the drug. With more widespread availability of medical technology, such as the Syva system, the 80s brought an expanded use of drug testing. Many countries around the world were implementing forensic drug testing in their militaries. But it would be the next president and first lady of the U.S. who would put the world spotlight on drug abuse, with a campaign asking us all to just say no.